Every Thursday night, Stephanie and I play at Houndstooth Saloon. That's a bar here in Chicago up near Wrigley Field. And this bar has absolutely been a lifesaver for us. In this episode, I'm going to talk about why with Stephanie, the owner, and Hannah, one of the managers. And there's a couple cameos from the other staff members. So check it out. I'm here with Stephanie Cook. She's the owner of Houndstooth Saloon, where we play every Thursday night. What kind of atmosphere are you wanting to create here at Houndstooth?
People come to a neighborhood bar to kind of unwind, escape, say hi to their neighbors, and they want to escape from whatever, like mundane or ho-hum or bad boss or whatever they had for the day. So I just want to make sure that we create kind of a fun and friendly environment, someplace where they can have fun and just relax.
One of the things that we really have come to appreciate is how the staff really feels very welcoming and very much like a family here. And we've felt very included in that. And I've watched over the past almost year now that we've been playing every week that your staff does a really good job of bringing the patrons in as well.
Yeah, they do. We've been very fortunate. We've got a really good group of staff here. Everyone's friendly. Everyone, really loves each other. We really do, feel like a family. Everybody just kind of knows what's going on. Everybody tries to kind of help cover each other.
What's your favorite thing about having live music at your restaurant?
I honestly, my favorite thing, because it's honestly the camaraderie and the kind of nostalgia. And you can just tell that people really like memories come across their faces when they hear it. It's a lot of fun. It sparks a lot of conversations about, oh my gosh, I remember when I did this or that, or this reminds me of college, my frat house. It definitely helps kind of build relationships with people who wouldn't normally know each other. It just gives them something to talk about. And I really love that about it. Another thing that I love about live music is the fact that it helps energize the staff too. So even when they're having like a crazy crush of a night, everybody will kind of stop to ring the bell or sing their favorite song that's playing. You know what I mean? It really kind of helps lift their spirits, which in turn, helps lift the guest spirits as well.
It helps lift our spirits too when the staff gets into the songs and is either cheering for something or shouting out a request, or if it's ring. That bell is awesome whenever that bell rings. Yeah, that's energizing for us as well.
Yeah, I actually, was a funny story. One of the bartenders, Teresa, when she first started working here, and I'd come up and ring the bell, and she goes, "So is there any system to ringing the bell?" And I go, "No, I just ring it when I really like the song." And she's like, "Oh, so that's it?" I'm like, "Yeah, that was a great one. So we're ringing the bell."
We were brought in July, and so a lot of the hard restrictions of COVID were still in place.
A lot of people who perform live music, as you know, there was nowhere for them to play at the time. So, and I also knew that the people in the neighborhood were starved for it. Nobody was, it was such a hard time for everybody. And a lot of therapy for people is music. Mm-hmm. And so it was just we sat around one day and I'm just like, it might not be the most responsible financial decision, but at the same time, people need it. The bands need it for sure. Let's just give it a shot and see what happens. If it doesn't, if it doesn't give us a good turnout, then we'll revisit. But it did almost immediately. I mean, you started to have regulars almost after your second week who wanted to come back and see you. So it was definitely, a win-win for both of us and for the guests, just to give them something else to do. I mean, for a year, there was nothing for anyone to do. So it's been, I think, life-saving for everybody, just being able to do it. It's always a risk, especially when you're running razor-thin margins during a pandemic. We had lost pretty much 3 months of revenue being completely shut down. So anytime you make a decision like that, it's a little bit of is this going to work? Is it not going to work? And on the nights we had live music, we saw our sales spike at least 15 to 20%. Looking back, I was a little nervous about it. Is this going to, put us under? And it didn't. It did the exact opposite.
It's been amazing that, while every week we see a lot of the same people, there's been a lot of regulars that continue to come week after week to see us play. There's also a lot of people that come in for the first time, and every time I talk to somebody new, blown away by the fact that they're seeing live music again for probably the first time since March of 2020.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can really see their eyes light up like, oh man, like live music, we have, you know what I mean? So it's really fun to see people like kind of light up when they don't know what's happening.
You know, the amazing thing is that, you know, we've been coming here since July of last year. Throughout all that time, there hasn't been any kind of, no one got sick here. And you do a lot to make sure that you're keeping people safe. Number one, on every single one of these tables, they have hand sanitizer, and on every table there's contactless menu options. Everything just is designed to make sure that you're keeping people safe, and I really appreciate that, because obviously coming in as a performer, I'm coming in once a week, and I don't know that I would have continued to do that for so long if I didn't feel so safe here.
Well, I'm very glad you feel that way. And I know the staff feels the same way too. And yeah, we have escaped, you know, what a lot of places have ended up having, you know, rampage through the restaurants where they've had to shut down. So, you know, it's really paid off, and it's made everyone feel okay about coming to work. We've never had anybody like some other places I've heard like, oh, we just don't feel comfortable, we can't come in. And honestly, even if people like had the sniffles or a cold, we'd just be like, stay home, go get a test, come back when it's done, because we don't want, you know what I mean? There's no reason for that. We did have a little shaky service sometimes when that happened, but at the end of the day, people's safety and our staff safety and our friends' safety were the most important thing.
When the shutdown happened, Stephanie and I were literally in Florida playing a wedding. And then we drove back, and in the drive back, we're just hearing one thing after another, after another, after another is just getting shut down. And as a performer, we had zero opportunities. And so your email came in at a time when things looked really bleak as a performer. And so we've been really, really, really appreciative of getting to have somewhere to call home and getting to have a regular performance again. And, you know, it was almost to the point where we were getting out of practice. And I think for the first couple of shows, I made a joke like, what's a guitar? I forgot how to play this thing.
Yeah.
And to be able to do that on a regular basis again has just been absolutely incredible, and we're so appreciative of that.
Oh my gosh, of course. And you guys have been great partners. I mean, like I said, you've become part of the family. The staff loves when you play. The neighborhood always comes out for it. So, I mean, it's been great.
Absolutely.
And we definitely picked really good partners. I mean, we love you guys.
It's great to have that extended family.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one thing that I always tell people when we talk about this and how it's impacted our industry and your industry. The one good thing that I think came out of it is people's willingness to help and support each other in a way that they never did before.
Yeah.
I feel so much more of a sense of community, a sense of family, a sense of support than I ever had before in the city.
Yeah.
So I think if anything comes out of this, we want to focus on the positive. That's definitely it, because we felt it a lot.
Well, thanks for chatting with me about this.
Yeah, for sure.
I think we have to start playing soon. Let me see what time it is. Yeah,
Oh.
5:59. So we gotta go play.
1 minute. Time's up.
What is it like working when there's live music? Like, what does that feel like for you?
It's a lot more fun than when there's not. Everybody's really into the music, including the staff. We're always singing. The energy is way higher when there's live music.
It's funny because sometimes we can't tell when someone's singing along. It's very different in a pandemic to have a show like that.
As much as you can put on fun music at night, it's not as fun. There's not that feeling of people being there and singing to you, because it's just such a different. It's so different. Being able to feel the bass for me is what makes live music so awesome.
So we got this residency here in July of last year, and you've been here almost every single Thursday.
Yeah.
What has it been like for you to have like us around like that?
It's so much fun. I come back to work almost every Friday with no voice.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it every time. I'm like, it's from yesterday. It's from yesterday.
Thank you so much to our family at Houndstooth Saloon, the staff, the regulars, everyone who's really made us feel like family there. We love you and we appreciate you. Thank you. And for you watching this vlog, thank you so much. I really appreciate that as well. And I will see you tomorrow.